Counting down, counting up, flourishing. That's the subject of today's ACTEC Trust and Estate Talk.
Welcome to ACTEC Trust and Estate Talk from the American College of Trust and Estate Counsel, a professional society of peer-elected trust and estate lawyers in the United States and around the globe. This series offers professionals best practice advice, insights, and commentary on subjects that affect our profession and clients. And now, our ACTEC Fellow host with today's topic.
This is Susan Steiner, ACTEC Fellow from Chicago. As president of ACTEC during the 2025 annual meeting in March, it was my honor to select our speaker for the Joseph Trachtman Memorial Lecture. Steve Akers of Dallas, Texas, was the fellow who came to mind. Steve has served in many leadership roles in ACTEC, including as president of the college from 2020 to 2021. We will be sharing his full Trachtman Lecture over a 3-part series. Today, Steve joins us to discuss the inspiration behind his lecture and what he hopes listeners will take away from it. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Susan.
So, at the first part of your lecture, you really talk about the scientific background for this lecture. Could you give us a little more detail on that?
Yeah, so I got into this because flourishing, wellness, that's something that we just all are interested in for ourselves. And I think that our clients have an interest in that as well. Some thought that when we get to that point that, yeah, this is just feel-good stuff. It really doesn't matter that much. So I did some digging into that. And there's some real science behind this. There is now a field of positive psychology that was somewhat pioneered by Dr. Martin Seligman. So I go through some of that background. We'll go through some of the studies, some very interesting studies of an Army study, a Harvard study, and some neurological studies, things going on in our brain that really impact this. And then I'll be discussing some of the key concepts of positive psychology. There's a kind of a PERMA, P-E-R-M-A concept. We go through that. The concept of flow, signature strengths, just some of the key concepts of positive psychology. Yeah, I really want to get into the science background of this to get to the point that this is not just feel-good stuff.
So that's great. So for the next part of your lecture, you discuss what's important to flourishing for ourselves personally. And what do you talk about in that area?
Yeah, so with the science background, now we are really interested in, so how do we apply this? Well, what do we do to ourselves personally for this to work? Well, we're all interested in flourishing personally. We certainly remember the presentation that Dr. Laurie Santos gave at an ACTEC meeting. It was back during that Zoom year when we were doing meetings by Zoom. Well, one of those most popular symposia that we've had. And certainly not just going off of that, but really digging into, from the scientific background, specific things that we can be doing to flourish, and then going beyond that as well, just some various other areas as well. I end up with 13 different things that we can do to assist in flourishing for ourselves personally.
So once we get a handle on ourselves flourishing, how can we assist our clients as well to get them to focus on that and to help them flourish as they think about their legacies?
Yeah, and so we kind of wonder, so why all this stuff about flourishing personally? And I go through all that to say, if that's important to us, it'll be important to our clients as well. And so we can discuss ways that we can assist our clients and our clients with their legacies for their children. We'll talk about some planning concepts of how we work these concepts into planning with clients, some trust structuring issues, and I actually make reference to some forms that can help with people that have clients that are really interested in these things. And we certainly have these clients. We may have saved them many millions of dollars of estate taxes, but the thing that really drives them is setting up the trust in a way that will really assist their children in flourishing and grandchildren and flourishing in their lives. We'll talk about, so what do we do with existing trusts that are already out there? How might they be changed, or that we can use them in ways that can assist in the flourishing? And then I'll talk about this new Delaware Wellness Trust statute. It is one state's attempt that for someone interested in these concepts, that kind of off the shelf You could plug into some provisions in the Delaware statute. A client could certainly go beyond that as well, but that's kind of a starting point of a clients that are interested in these flourishing concepts and building them into their trust structures. So helping our clients with their legacies and assisting their flourishing with their families.
All of that is so important. So, how do you help us think about the wellness of professional practices?
Yeah, so then we'll come back to our own professional practices, and how do they flourish? Wellness of our professional practices, and for this, I go through kind of a fun little story of a just very unique, but a very successful business that going through some of the major concepts that they draw out of that business, and it's a business that they kind of look at it of fans first, and so I look at it in the concept of what it would be for our professional practices if we were to really go all in on clients first. What would that mean for us? And with a few specific suggestions, but really my major part of goal of that part of the podcast is just to get the juices flowing of what it could be, mean to be really go all in on clients first.
Thank you, Steve. You really got it. My juices flowing, and I hope that applies to everyone else listening. And thanks for providing this overview today. We're really looking forward to hearing your entire Trachtman Lecture beginning next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of ACTEC Trust and Estate Talk, the podcast series about wealth planning matters from the American College of Trust and Estate Counsel. To find an ACTEC lawyer near you, visit actec.org. Please subscribe to this series and leave us a rating or a review.